Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Infinite Warfare Zombies has been out for a little while now, and the main quest, the main Easter egg, has been solved for a little while now as well. I've got plenty of videos of it on my channel, I've got guides, I've got all of it up here for you to watch. Now, one of the things that I think really surprised people about the main quest Easter egg is that there wasn't an outro cutscene. You kill the alien, or you kill the aliens if you're playing co-op, and then you kill the UFO, you blow it up, it explodes into smithereens, and you get the bit of the soul key, but you don't get an outro cutscene, certainly for doing that particular set of things. And so people were surprised. They were like, okay, this seems a bit weird. How are they going to drive the story forwards if there's no outro telling us what's happening next, or if the players are going to escape the park, or what's going to happen? Now, I think the reason for this confusion and the reason for this surprise is that prior to Infinite Warfare releasing, there was a lot of focus placed on the idea that what would be happening in the map is we would be banding together with our teammates to go through some kind of process in order to escape the park. That was always the idea. We would be escaping Spaceland, and we would be freeing ourselves from the nightmare that Willard Wyler had produced and sucked us into. And in fact, things go even further because the Hoff is trying to do exactly that as well. He says in the park, he's relying on us as his ticket out of this film that he's been trapped in for so long. Lee Ross has said that the Hoff's been trapped in the film for an unknown amount of time, and we are basically his only hope of actually getting free. So, like I said, a lot of focus pre-launch on the idea that we would be leaving Spaceland if we could possibly manage it. That was the idea. And then we get through the Easter egg, and there's no outro saying that we're going to be leaving the park in any particular capacity. Now, what this does not mean is that we're not actually leaving the park at all. I think that the idea is going to be that for the intro for the next map, we'll probably see us in Spaceland, we'll see us get the bit of the soul key, maybe one of the characters will stick it in that urn that's in the projector room, and it'll teleport us to another film, or something like that. Quite possibly, but for now, it doesn't seem like we're going anywhere. And the reason I'm talking about all of this is that Lee Ross has actually talked specifically about the idea of us beating the map and getting some kind of a game over screen, or some kind of you win, you finished it, you escaped, something like that in the game itself. So the thing I'm referring to here is actually an interview with Mike Medina from IGN, and Mike says, "So Lee, is this map beatable? It might be a bit of a zombie spoiler, but can you beat it?" And Lee's response is as follows. He says, "You can complete the final Easter egg, which will drive the story. It will give you some bits of backstory. But Zombies is a traditional experience. People want to go till they can't go anymore. And if they want to go to scene 500, we want to allow them to do that. So if someone does complete the final Easter egg and they want to keep playing, we want to allow them to do that." Now, this is interesting for multiple reasons. First of all, slightly erroneous comment from Lee here, saying if they want to go to scene 500, we want to allow them to do that. Mate, the game is not set up in a way that actually allows players to do that, because if you're in game for like, 65, 70 hours, your game is going to crash, and you're not going to get to scene 500 in that time. So, slightly strange comment from him there. I think that he might need to sort of reel back his estimates for what people are going to be able to get to in the mode if they feel so inclined and if they're skillful enough, because I think 500 is a little exaggerated. But anyway, that's not the focus of what I'm talking about here. I want to talk about the fact that he says you can complete the final Easter egg, which will drive the story and give you some bits of backstory. Now, if we think about it, okay, in the map itself, we have the main quest Easter egg where you go through, you kill the alien, you kill the UFO, you grab the bit of the soul key, huzzah. But is that the final Easter egg? Or is Ghosts and Skulls the final Easter egg? Because thinking about it, you have to complete the main quest in order to complete Ghosts and Skulls. That's actually one of the steps, pretty much, to get that Easter egg done. So I would say right now, it seems like the final Easter egg is Ghosts and Skulls. It has to be done after that main quest. It's later on. It can't be later than the final Easter egg if the final Easter egg is the main quest. So Ghosts and Skulls seems like it holds that position right now, in my opinion. But what's interesting is that, as far as I have heard so far, I've beat Ghosts and Skulls. I've got videos of it on my channel, links in the description down below if you're interested. I've beat Ghosts and Skulls, and I haven't had any extra bits of backstory or extra sort of things that are going to drive the story, as Lee is referring to here. I haven't seen that. In fact, beating the main quest Easter egg, you seem to get very little of that sort of thing as well. Like, if you think about the main quest Easter egg, you finish it, you go talk to the Hoff, and he basically just doesn't care. He's like, sure, I'll play the next track for you, but he doesn't reference the fact that the alien has just come down, been wiped out, you've blown up the UFO. He doesn't give a damn. So, I think that's a little odd. I think that that is a little peculiar, and I think that it is worthy of further investigation. Because if we are indeed getting things that are going to drive the story and give us a bit of backstory as well, which we're really missing at this point, I feel like, there's a real lack of backstory in the map itself that we have found so far, and so we really need to be looking into this more, but we don't really get that from the main quest. And we don't really get it as far as I've seen from Ghosts and Skulls, so is there more beyond Ghosts and Skulls? Is there something on top of all of that that is a further extension to everything that we've already done? Maybe. Now, you could argue a bit of a counter-argument and say, I think that the final Easter egg is indeed the main quest Easter egg because of the fact that Willard Wyler talks to you, and that's going to be the backstory that you're looking for, and that's going to be the stuff that's going to drive the story forwards, and so it doesn't seem like there's actually anything beyond that that would be story relevant, and that is essentially our outro cutscene, just the things that he says at the end of the Easter egg, which really isn't very much. I personally sort of lean towards that interpretation of things, but at the same time, I really want there to be something else here, and people have been talking recently about stuff that they've found in the game code that suggests that there definitely is other stuff that we haven't unlocked so far. In fact, for example, Marvel 4, I believe is the name of this person, found all of the weapons for the game in the game files, and there's versions of the pistols, so for example, the Discord, the head cutter, the face melter, the shredder, those that are upgraded, which is no surprise, but then there are double upgraded versions of them. So there might be like another tier of those guns that we can unlock in the map. Now that could be old deprecated code, and it could not actually be available to us in Zombies in Spaceland right now, but it's been found that those things, at least at one point in time, did exist. And so I can't help but wonder if there might be more things like that that are undiscovered so far. Lee has said in several interviews now that there are undiscovered Easter eggs in the map still. There are still things out there that we haven't found, and I believe it as well, because we found the Ghosts and Skulls Easter egg, like 2 days ago, and the game's been out for 2 weeks, so that thing ended up taking a much longer time than probably anyone really would have expected it to get solved. In fact, the devs too are included in that bracket. Lee says he thought that people were going to be basically finding everything in the first 24, 48 hours, things like that, but it took 2 weeks for Ghosts and Skulls, which is, in my opinion, great, because it means that Infinity Ward are capable of hiding things that are logical. That is a very, very important thing. They are logical Easter egg steps. God bless, thank goodness, Treyarch really missed a trick there. Like, seriously, some of Treyarch's Easter egg steps are so illogical. Some of them, not all of them by any means, but some of them just, what were they thinking? Anyway, I digress. It's so good, in my opinion, that Infinity Ward are able to hide stuff in plain sight, hide stuff in the view of the player that takes a long time to solve, is still logical, and gets you a really cool reward at the end, as Ghosts and Skulls does with permaperks, or the main quest Easter egg does with an achievement? Okay, maybe not all very, very cool, but some of them are cool for sure. So I just wanted to talk about this a bit today because I thought it was interesting that Lee had gone on record in this interview and said that if someone completes the final Easter egg and they want to keep playing, we want to allow them to do that, which means that you're unlikely to be able to escape the park in the map, in my opinion, because there's no way you could escape and keep playing. And there's also very unlikely a way that you could have an option to escape the park and decline it in order to keep playing. Like, if there is a way in the map that you can escape, it sounds like what he's saying here is that the player should always be given the choice to decline that escape and stay in the map and keep killing zombies. And that just wouldn't make sense in the narrative. So I think that it's unlikely that we can escape Spaceland, but I would love to be proven wrong right now. I would love for this to just be a misinterpretation of what Lee is saying here. I would love for us to find a further extension to the Easter egg sort of trail that we've gone on so far, and I would really love to escape the map and to get some kind of game over, GG, outro cutscene, and boom, you're on to the next one. Anyway, I'm MrRoflWaffles. Just wanted to basically let you guys know that Lee had said this and talk about it a bit today. Hopefully you're enjoying the videos. Sorry, by the way, that I've been away so much this week. I've had so much university work to do. It's been driving me absolutely insane, and, well, needless to say, I'm glad that I now have the weekend off to make a couple videos for you guys. So, thank you for watching. I'm MrRoflWaffles, I am that duck, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.